I don't think it should come as any surprise that, given my occupation, given the place that I call my office, I've seen quite a fair bit amount of baseball in my day. Maybe not compared to some of the older scribes in the press box, but I've seen a lot of baseball in my day. And even if we take away all the years that I watched baseball simply as a fan, and if we limit the scope of what I've seen strictly to as a reporter, I've seen the Cincinnati Reds throw a no-hitter and still lose. I've seen multiple no-hitters, not even just that one. I was covering Joe Musgrove throwing a no-hitter. I was here for 2021 of the NLDS. I was there for Andrew McCutcheon's return to Pittsburgh. I saw Paul Skeens record 2 outs in his Double-A debut with Altoona, and then I saw a bunch of 12-year-olds try to storm the press box because Livy Dunn was in attendance. I've seen a lot. There's a lot that I've seen. I've seen an emergency catcher situation because the backup got thrown out arguing balls and strikes, and then the starting catcher tore his quad rounding second. I've seen a lot of different things and crazy things over the course of this game, and the saying that we love to say, that's just beautifully articulated. Come to the ballpark, you never know what you're going to see. And I personally have never seen what unfolded tonight, or this afternoon rather. Bob Melvin hadn't, Heliot Ramos hadn't, Jordan Hicks hadn't, Lamont Wade Jr. hadn't, and I think I can speak for the 40,000 or so people who were in attendance for this afternoon's game that they probably haven't seen an ending as wild, as unique, as crazy as what unfolded here at Oracle Park as the Giants beat the Texas Rangers 3-2, their 5th walk-off the season. They cap off this stretch of 17 consecutive games in 70 consecutive days with a win. They are 10-7 during this stretch, and we can get to that in a second. But if you haven't seen the play, I kind of want to be lazy and just say, like, here's the play.
1 for 2. Taps this one to third. And he throws it down the right field line. Ramos is on the move. And he is going to stop. No, now he's going to go to third. Here's the throw. It gets by him. Here comes Ramos. This game is over.
But let's walk through it because it is worth walking through. So let's set the stage. It's the bottom of the 9th inning. It's 2-2, the exact same situation that the Giants found themselves in yesterday as they walked off. Patrick Bailey had the walk-off on the day that they celebrated Brandon Crawford. So it's 2-2 going into the bottom of the 9th inning. Luke Jackson, the former Giant, is on for the Rangers. Heliot Ramos is up to the plate. And I think it is worth contextualizing that up to this point in the game, it hadn't been Ramos's best game. Now, in the 4th inning, he did have a single. He swiped second base, and then he scored on what was Christian Casas' first Major League RBI. But in the top of the 1st inning, the Rangers scored 2 runs when Ramos kind of misread this flare by Marcus Semien. If it got a good jump, that ball probably would have found glove rather easily, but Ramos kind of didn't break back, but didn't immediately recognize that it wasn't hit all that hard. Drops in right in front of him. The Rangers score 2 right there. And then in the bottom of the 6th inning, Lamont Wade Jr., who just continues to have some really poor batted ball luck despite some really well-hit balls today, hits one into the right center field gap. Adolis Garcia tracks it down, does a tumble, and in just one continuous movement, tumbles, jumps to his feet, and then unfurls this perfect throw to Jake Berger at first base to double up Ramos. So it hadn't been Ramos's best game leading up to this point, but he steps to the plate to lead off the bottom of the 9th inning, and on the very first pitch that he sees from Luke Jackson, this slider, hits a ball 2 feet. Exactly 2 feet. I know it rolls, but for our intents and purposes, 2 feet. It was an exit velo of 56.5 miles per hour. I think it had a launch angle of like negative 66, but it was hit in a way. It was hit down, not down the third base line necessarily, but it was hit in an awkward position because third baseman Josh Smith had no play, and there was no chance that he was going to make this play. So the only person who could have made this play was Luke Jackson, and it's hit off to his right. Jackson goes down the mound, barehands it, and kind of unfurls this sidearm throw to Jake Berger at first base, and just Berger had absolutely zero chance of getting this ball. Ramos recognizes that and goes to second base. And he could have easily went to third. He didn't recognize that Berger had yet to field the ball, and right fielder Adolis Garcia, who was way far away from play, had yet to field the ball. No Ranger had a hold on the ball yet, and Ramos had just assumed that someone had picked up the ball at some point, so that's why he kind of let off the gas and pulled into second. Only when he realizes that no one had a hand on the ball does he decide to go to third. Now, if Ramos had recognized instantly that no one had a chance to get the ball, he goes to third, he gets there easily, and there wouldn't have been a play at all. But because he hesitated, because he let off the gas and then had to restart the engines, Berger saw that there was this really short window to potentially rob Ramos of not only just advancing the 90 feet, but to get him out at third and to record the first out of the inning in just a really weird way. So Berger sees this, and he unfurls his own throw from the warning track up the first baseline to Josh Smith at first base. Now, Josh Smith ends up getting put in like a really weird situation, or position rather, because the throw is a little short and it leads him into Ramos. So not only does he have to kind of dodge, or not only is he trying to get the ball, but he's trying to dodge Ramos in the process, and he's not able to get a glove on the ball. Ball rolls up the third base warning track, and it goes all the way back to, appropriately enough, Luke Jackson, who throws home, but Ramos, once he gets up from diving into third base, recognizes that the ball's gotten past Josh Smith, goes home, and for style, I don't think it was 4 style points, but dolphin dives across home plate. I'm forgetting the name of the photographer, but whoever captured the photo of just Ramos dolphin diving into home plate, it's just such a good photo. And again, it's just one of the wilder endings that you will ever see in the game of baseball. And I don't care how many more games I watch over the course of this lifetime, I'm probably not going to see an ending unfold like that ever again. And that's just the beauty. That's the beauty of baseball. Again, you come to the ballpark, you never know what you're going to see. But some other things to get into from today's game: Jordan Hicks, he goes 5 innings, allows the 2 earned runs over those 5 innings. Again, as I mentioned, 2 of those runs, the only 2 runs that he allowed, scored in the top of the first inning when Ramos wasn't able to track down that flare by Marcus Semien, but then ends up not allowing a run over innings 2 through 5. Was pulled after 84 pitches. The velocity was a little bit down, but Hicks wasn't all that concerned about it. He was able to, in his own words, kind of ramp it up whenever he needed. Once Hicks exited the ball game, Hayden Birdsong threw 3 excellent innings of relief, no walks, 5 strikeouts. If you haven't seen the story that I did on the kick changeup about a month ago, I highly recommend it because he was getting a lot of strikeouts with that kick change. With Ryan Walker having pitched on Friday and Saturday 2 scoreless innings, Camilo Doval got the 9th inning and recorded a 1-2-3 inning. That's now his 8th consecutive scoreless inning. His ERA is down to 2.08. And then following what Doval does in the 9th inning, Ramos does what he does in the bottom of the 9th inning. So the Giants finish up this 17-game stretch, one where they had to play some really good teams in the Yankees, the Phillies, Brewers. They finish up this 17-game stretch with a record of 10-7. As things stand right now, they're 19-10. They are the second best team in all of baseball by record. The only team that's better than them at this point in time is the New York Mets, who have a record of 19-9. They finally get their first off day in the hottest of minutes tomorrow on Monday. That means an off day for myself as well. I will be in San Diego for their 2-game set against the Padres, where they will have their first clash against an interdivision rival this season.